नमस्कार, मैं दिनकर ठाकुर आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं न्यूरल माइंड्स के प्यारे इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे। एंड टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डील विद द वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट सेगमेंट इन डेटा साइंस, दैट इज पाइथन. The Python is the way only to convey the things to our computer. See, in data science, what we do? We do lots of mathematical calculations and mathematical manipulations, and for this, we require a calculating machine, which is our computer. So, to make things easy and very light for us, we use a language which is Python. So, the first thing in Python we are going to see is object oriented programming. What is this? I'm pretty sure that you people have heard that Python follows object oriented principle. Then what are these principles, sir? Then what are these principles, भैया? पहला बात तो ये मेरे भाई कि जो भी इन्वेंशंस इस दुनिया में होती हैं, दे आर जस्ट मेड बाय मिमिकिंग द नेचर. Okay, so the changes, the invention in the Python to make it object oriented is done by mimicking nature only. So what are the object oriented principles? The first thing in this is the world is collection of objects. Second principle is every object is useful in this world. Every object is useful in this world. No object is useless. What is second principle? Every object is useful. Okay, what is this? Every object is used in this world. No object is useless. Okay, my dear. The third principle which comes under object oriented is every object remains in the constant interaction with each other. Every object remains in the constant interaction with each other. Okay, so the fourth point will be the most important point, and this point I am pretty sure that you people can relate this point to your real life also. Every object belongs to a type. What fourth point is? Every object belongs to a type technically called as this type technically called as class, my dear. Okay, the class does not exist in real. The class does not, but this class does not, sorry, but this class, what happens? But this class does not, but this class does not exist in reality. So what this class is? This class is just a blueprint of an object. I will be discussing this thing in more detail. First see this thing. The class is just blueprint. Okay, blueprint of an object. Okay, भैया. I'm pretty sure that you are somewhat able to understand the fourth topic, but after this example you are being very clear with this thing. Okay, suppose there is a dog, there is an animal, you don't know this, suppose this is an animal. It is what I'm telling, I'm giving its blueprint, that it's having 4 legs, 1 tail, 2 eyes, and it barks. Okay, what I'm telling, from this thing, from these properties and from these characteristics which I have mentioned here, you people can think of a real life object which is dog. I'm pretty clear from this, and you should be clear about this, that from these characteristics we are able to define a real life entity, that is dog, which is having 4 legs, 1 tail, 2 eyes, and it barks. Okay, so actually what this thing is just blueprint. मैंने बस ब्लूप्रिंट दिया है मेरे भाई, मैंने क्या किया है, बस बताया कि हाँ उसके पास ये सारी चीजें हैं, इससे तुम सोच पा रहे हो या बता पा रहे हो कि हाँ भाई ये क्या है. ठीक है, तो ये किस क्लास से बिलोंग करेगा, ये डॉग क्लास से बिलोंग करेगा, जिसके कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होंगे, जिसके ब्लूप्रिंट क्या होंगे, ये सारी चीजें उसकी ब्लूप्रिंट होंगी. ओके, चलिए अब लास्ट पॉइंट, और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, लास्ट एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट एवरी ऑब्जेक्ट हैज 2 पार्ट्स, दैट एवरी ऑब्जेक्ट has 2 parts. First part is known to be has part. Second part is known as does part. Okay, so what is has part? Has part is properties, and does part is behaviors. What is has part? Has part is properties, does part is behavior. So I'm giving you one example, my dear, just listen to it. That what I had told you earlier, that I have given you a blueprint. One blueprint I have given: 4 legs, 1 tail, 2 eyes, and it barks. So I have given you a blueprint of a thing, that how it resembles, how it seems in real life. So from this you can tell that these are the properties of what? Dog, and dog is a real life entity. But what is this? This is blueprint, and class is actually what? Class is also a blueprint of an object. Okay, so the class doesn't exist in reality, but object exists in reality. See, dog exists in reality, no? Dog exists in reality, no? Dog exists in reality, no? So from here I'm going to tell you that every object has 2 parts. First part is has part, and second part is does part. First part is also known as properties of that object, and second part, that is does part, that is also known to be behaviors which object is mimicking. Okay, so from this blueprint, I think this first 3 things are properties. Okay, and last thing is behavior. Okay, my dear, so object has 2 parts, one is has part and second one is does part. Okay, so these 5 are the object oriented principle that a language which is said to be object oriented should follow all these 5 principles. Okay, so the next part or the next thing in Python we are going to see today is that how a Python program runs in our local system. Okay, sorry. So the name for this will be life cycle of Python. Okay, so the first thing in Python, suppose you are writing print hi. You have written this thing in Python. So Python is the only language which follows principle of KISS. What does it mean, bhaiya? KISS actually means here is keep it simple and silly. Okay, Python follows a principle that to be known as KISS, which actually means keep it simple and silly. To do something, we just have to give command, just like that I have written here, that print hi. If you will write this in Google Colab or any IDE where that IDE should be integrated with Python interpreter. What is Python interpreter, bhaiya? Then I'll explain that part in detail also in today's lecture only. So what you want to do, just you want to print hi, so you only have to write print hi. The Python will do rest of the things for you. Okay, the output for this will be hi on your console screen. Okay, so it is very simple and silly that what जो तुम्हें करना है वो तुम बस लिखो, हो के आ जाएगा. चलो ठीक है. अब जब तुम कोई प्रोग्राम पाइथन में लिखते हो, ठीक, जब तुम कोई कोड पाइथन में लिखते हो तो पाइथन एक हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज है. ठीक, हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज मीन्स क्या? जो कि ह्यूमन द्वारा अंडरस्टैंडेबल होता है. हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज क्या होता है? ह्यूमन द्वारा अंडरस्टैंडेबल होता है. ठीक है, मान लो मैं प्रिंट हाई लिखा और इसको सेव कर दिया. प्रिंट हाई लिखा, प्रिंट, sorry, let me change color. Okay, let's take white. Suppose I have written print hi. Okay, and I've saved this file as, मैंने इस फाइल को सेव करा किस फॉर्मेट में? फर्स्ट प्रोग्राम first.py. So this which I have saved in our hard disk as first.py is in high level language. High level language in the sense Python में है, Python कोड है ये, जिसको मैंने first.py से अपने हार्ड डिस्क में सेव करा. अब क्या होगा? What I'm going to do? I'm going to run this program. The first thing what will happen? You have installed Python interpreter, Python, Python interpreter in your system, in your local system. Okay, the Python interpreter will evoke, and this program went from hard disk. When you will try to run this program, first it will go on RAM. If you are executing this program, you are trying to run this program, that will go on RAM. RAM पे जाएगा ये first, hard disk से where it will go on RAM. Okay, RAM पे अब सारी चीजें होंगी. The Python interpreter is installed in your local system, and when you try to run this program, that Python interpreter will evoke, what will evoke? Compiler, which is inside the Python interpreter compiler. And the task of this compiler is to convert this high level language code into bytecode. This high level language code into, what is task of this? to convert HLL, which is .py, which is saved as an extension of .py, to bytecode. Okay. Then what this bytecode is? This is known to be ILL. What is ILL? Intermediate level language. This is converted into, this is what this is, ILL, intermediate level language. Okay, this is neither into high level nor into machine level. High level means that the Python program which is human understandable, and machine level means that is binary sort of thing. Okay, and this bytecode will be saved as an extension of .pyc. Okay, .pyc. Then what will happen next? This bytecode will go to PVM, which is Python virtual machine, which is inside Python interpreter. Okay, this bytecode will go to PVM, which is inside Python interpreter, and PVM will convert this thing into MLL, which is machine level language code, line by line. The execution will happen here line by line, which will, this PVM will convert into machine level language code. How? Line by line. Okay. So after it is converted into MLL, our machine can understand the things and do what we have directed it to do. There are more functions that PVM do. The first thing, it manages memory also. Okay. Second thing, it takes care of creation and destruction of objects. For this lecture, just remember those things. What PVM also does, manages memory for different variables and things, different variable functions and all. Okay. The second thing, it also manages the creation and destruction of different object. What it does, it also manages creation and destruction sorry, I think it's not visual, destruction of objects. Clear? Okay. And one more there is one more task which our PVM also does is it adds modules and packages to our code. What it does, it adds modules and packages. Adding. So what this module and packages, bhaiya? What this module and packages? See, to this program we are directly telling to print hi. So what does print mean? This has been coded and saved somewhere in the Python interpreter, and from there it is checking what does it actually means. That are actually modules and packages which are already coded by the developers. Okay. So the simple diagram which I am going to show you now, show you for this life cycle of a Python program is, would will look like somewhat like this. Source code, my dear, which will be, it will be in HLL. Then after this, where it goes to compiler, and its extension is .py. You can save in the extension of .py. Compiler, what it does, it converts into bytecode, and this bytecode goes to PVM, Python virtual machine. The extension for this will be .pyc. Okay, and this PVM will give you the output. and where it happens, this all part is under one thing that is known as Python interpreter. And this whole part where happens at the RAM, and this part at our hard disk. Okay, and library and modules are also added by the PVM, libraries and modules.
Yes, bro.
Okay, so these are the things which I want to discuss in today's lecture only. So we will meet you in the next lecture, which will be the especially that will be the coding part, that basically will be the complete coding part for this. So I hope you will be joining that lecture too. So that's all from my side. Bye bye. Jai Hind.